Hey there, Aries. Happy New Year. So glad you're here, and I hope you have had a great end of your year. Kick off to 2019. And I just want to thank you if you're returning that you've been with me for part of the 2018 with my startup of the channel, and I appreciate you being here again. So let's see what's up for love for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If this isn't resonating, please check your other signs. As you know, not all these things will because it's general. There's so many different Aries out there, and your combination of planets and combination of everything is just going to make it different for you. So let's see. I'm using the Goddess deck. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, love, January 2019. Okay, it's now telling me to stop. Okay, so bottom of the deck is the Nine of Pentacles. So for many of you, you may be on an independent streak. You may be investing in your career, putting energy rather than romance. You might be very highly focused on what you're building in your wealth, creating time for yourself, time for hobbies, time for productivity, putting energy into things that are yielding benefits for you, yielding fruit for you. And, you know, for those of you that this may be resonating with, some of you may literally be feeling like, you know, you don't really have as strong of a lean toward making sure that, you know, relationships are the primary focus for you right now. You might be feeling that's not where you want to put your energy, and that's fine. So for some of you, that freedom aspect and that independence is really important right now. So let's see what's going on. Coming into the present moment for many Aries out there, and this could be definitely, this is in the U spot, so it's representing a fire sign. So Aries, I would believe this is you, and this is the same as the Page of Wands. So you might definitely be in an active mode, inspired action, taking action, or communicating on things that are important to you. Passionate areas for you, purposeful areas for you. If it is a relationship related thing, you might be the one that's initiating contact, communication, action. I know that some of you are going to respond to this who are seeing this saying, there's no way I'm doing that because I'm done with this person. But you know, if you're not the one initiating communication with a certain someone, you might be taking action, but in a whole other area, maybe not toward the person for some of you. So what your situation is right now, we've got actually the Page of, actually this is the Knight. I think this, I'm sorry, this is the Knight, and this is the Knight. So that takes a little bit different spin. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused in this deck. The Knight of Wands would be that you're taking action, but you're taking swift action, and you're taking maybe not so consistent action, but certainly passionate action. You might be coming into a relationship. You might be doing a little bit of in and out energy. Don't know if you're feeling that you've got the staying power. And yet paired with the Knight of Cups, you definitely have an emotional feeling about whatever this is. And you are somehow tied emotionally to what your object of attention is, what you're focused on. So you do want to make an emotional connection. I think there's a possibility, because these are both in your current spot, that you're representing a little bit of both right now, Aries. You might be vacillating or kind of altering between how committed you want to be with a certain person, certain relationship, or in general, versus is there an emotional component for you that you can get out of it? Let's see. The obstacle is the Six of Cups. So as an obstacle, many of you might be a bit overly nostalgic right now about a certain relationship, a little bit unrealistic or overly nostalgic. For many of you, Aries, you might be remembering a little bit too much of the good times and not enough of the harsh or just reality of the situation. You might be thinking romantically, but as an obstacle, you're not thinking, you know, back when we were together, it just wasn't all as good as I'm really thinking it was. Or I'm just kind of over idealizing the person, and I'm maybe have them in a little bit of a pedestal. Coming in and what the background is and what kind of spurred this whole situation, at the root of your reading is the Wheel of Fortune. So it could be that there's been a turn of events that has made you take a glimmer of optimism back into this situation. Um, to some respect, this could be that there's a bit of a karmic component with you and this person. That, as much as you think you have control over the situation, when you get down to it, the universe is really in control. It's kind of universal and divine timing. It's not so much who's pushing harder, who's making more things happen, but there's just more of a universal control over this. And another cup. Wow, we've got another cup. We've got the Queen of Cups in your recent past. So this could be that you were embodying this emotional energy. Sometimes the Queen does not quickly offer her cup. In most cases, though, she's more of an unconditional and accepting person. You may have someone in your picture, though, that's the Queen of Cups. This could be a wife, a mother, somebody that's engaged in a heavy way with the person of your affection. So she doesn't always show up as the other woman. She usually shows up as a stable love force. So but there could be a water sign or just somebody else, um, in the midst that is more of a Queen of Cups figure. If it's you, most recently, this could be representing you definitely being a bit more on the emotional side and being more just kind of accepting of things. And that may marry up well with this idea of Six of Cups, where you're just kind of being forgiving, accepting, and not really looking hard at, what was the harder reality of the situation. Because on your mind is creation, which is great because, with the 9 of discs at the bottom of the deck, this is about abundance and creating. And what's on your mind is either a fresh start, initiating with relationships in your life, what you want to create. And it's really you taking the practical approach to balance out this emotional side and say, I can be a creator in my own life. I can take control of what it is I can control. Certainly some things may not be in your control. This is Wheel of Fortune. But you have all the tools at your disposal, Aries, to create something. And Aries is a very industrious card. And when they get their mind on something, they'll definitely work hard to achieve it. Very, very tenacious sign and quality card. Person. So this would be the Page of Swords in the near term. So this is in the very near future, your desire to get clarity on something, maybe a communication you want to make or communication is coming through. Might be not the most mature, might be quick and to the point, but not, really as deep as you would like. Could be that somebody is doing a little bit of research on you behind the scenes, checking out maybe your social media, checking out your social profiles. You may be doing that to somebody else. But basically, there could possibly be a communication or a truth coming into awareness here. What is in your environment, though? Unfortunately, we got the Three of Swords cards for what's in your environment or coming your way. Potentially, Aries, it's, not a done deal, and we're going to clarify, but some awareness of a hurt. I'm kind of getting a feeling that this is not new. This is not like suddenly this is going to happen to you. I think this is potentially more of a renewal or a resurgence of some feelings that maybe you weren't really tuning into, but that they're real or that it may come up again. Somebody may say something, somebody may come on the scene, somebody may say something about this person so that it's not really you, but it's like a third party who talks about the person that you're thinking about, and then it got you thinking again, or they're sharing the harsh reality with you of the situation. You're being forced to look at something, and that's painful. That can be painful. Your hope or fear is the King of Swords. So you could literally be thinking about an air sign, Gemini, a Libra, Aquarius person that's important to you and hoping they're going to reappear. If you're not really thinking about an actual person, I think that you're maybe hoping to be more in control of your situation, be more logical and less emotionally torn, less emotionally swayed. As I said, there are a lot of cups in this reading and emotions. So maybe in your hopes, you're really just kind of trying to find the balance of how can I be, looking out for myself. What's logical here? What's making sense? What's really going to serve me? So that would be more you hoping to get better control. And then potential outcome card would be what this is representing the Emperor in traditional decks. So again, this is you potentially gaining back power, boundaries, structure, your own empowerment. So this is actually a really good reading right next to the Magician card. This is about you taking back control and making it happen, Aries. So you do get your mind set on what's going to be better for you, set better boundaries, not be swayed, not be pulled off course, and really kind of pulling back into gear any places where you might have been pulled off course. Really thinking of yourself. I think it's putting yourself first and being way more realistic in creating in your life what you want and what's good for you. So just to clarify the Prince of Cups and the Six of Cups, what's the nature of that? Yeah, so that's the Tower. So even if you're over fantasizing, over idealizing, over emotionalizing something, I think that the universe is going to step in and do the dose of reality. This is oppression in this deck. It's the Tower in a traditional deck. So as much as we don't like to see the Tower, it just comes when we need it. And then we think that's kind of like the universe stepping in with the Wheel of Fortune. But in the end, you're going to potentially have an opportunity to recreate something much more meaningful. Let's see what else. So what is the Wheel of Fortune about in the root of the reading? What is the Wheel of Fortune telling Aries? So good fortune is coming. Kind of like if we don't over control, we've got the sun coming, which is beautiful. So Aries, that's a really great indicator that you are going to be able to get to abundance and joy, that this is leaning you all toward, even if there's some pain involved or some emotional upheaval at first, it's going to take you back on track, back to a logical path, or at least a good path, and even a positive emotional path. It doesn't have to be all facts and figures and logic here. It's actually at the root of the reading is joy and abundance. And I'm seeing a lot of things pursuing control and abundance. So why are you embodying the Page of Wands here in the current? Because you're done actually fighting. You're done with burden. You want to actually just seize the one path that's going to yield the best forward movement for you, Aries. It's like enough of all these things you're juggling, enough of everybody who wants a little piece of you and what you're doing or has the ability to pull you, down in terms of your energy. This to me is more about you taking action in right action, whatever aligns with you, and getting rid of, once you hit the 10 of Wands, the only way to go from that is what's showing up here as a sunny future. So even in itself, with the 10 of Wands being kind of a burdensome energy, it's actually got, on the flip side of it, a good connotation, because you're going to be entering into a new phase when you can put all those down, put all those burdens down. The nature of the Three of Swords could have to do with a Knight of Swords. So there could have been, again, a truth, something entered onto the scene, someone told you something, or the Prince of Swords or Knight character might have been brutally honest or kind of gave you an indication of something that was just a harsh dose of reality. I definitely think there's somebody, perhaps an air sign in your midst, perhaps, Aries. And if I kind of clarify the King of Swords with the Fool, you have a fresh start. And you're not really looking at each other if you look at the bodies and the faces and the heads in this. So I think it's you moving ahead and not looking back and moving into a powerful future. So if I clarify where the magic and power or emperor is, it's like, you know what, it's just not worth fighting anymore. Five of Swords, it's just what's worth your energy and what's not. Is there just a better relationship ahead? Yes, is the answer I'm getting here. I'm going to pull you a Truth Bomb card. Danielle Laporte's Truth Bomb card for greater guidance. Any other guidance for Aries, January 2019. Aries 2019 in love. And And I'm going to pull a Wisdom of the Oracle card as well. Wisdom of the Oracle card for Aries. Okay. So it's called Yin. It's number 2, as in yin and yang. So in this case, the number 2 in terms of relationships, very interestingly, the number 2 says, let others take the lead right now. Your power lies in small gestures, soft awareness, and conscious surrender. By yielding the reins, you will find yourself effortlessly moving closer to what you truly desire. Permit others to tell you who they are and who they can be to you by allowing their actions to speak about them. You will be pleasantly surprised. Again, it's like take your hands off the wheel with the Fortune card, and the sun is right in front of you. So there is the universe in the works for you, whether it's the Tower at work or the Wheel of Fortune. You may be, best advised to know that you don't have to push as hard here, Aries. Leave it up to other people. They will show you who they are. I'm a big believer in that. As hard as that is sometimes and as painful as that can be, people will show you who they are. So there is hard work in front of you. I don't think it's about making an unnecessary relationship happen or fighting against the grain to something that's not meant to be, but love the necessary hard work when it has to do with the right work, right? Like we talked about you finding like the right action. You don't have to love the hard work associated with the 10 of Wands where it's not yours to do or it's overburdensome. But if you have right action that you want to take, you can love that hard work. When it serves you, when it's abundant, and when you're creating and manifesting and in control with the Emperor and the King of Swords. I mean, there's like so much here for you at your fingertips that, there are some great things around the corner when you let go of what's not good and focus on what's right for you. So I wish you a lot of luck, Aries. This is actually a really good reading. I know there's a lot of emotional up and down in it, but sometimes we have to get through all that to get to the really good stuff. So have a great January 2019. And I will hopefully see you again soon. If anything resonated, please do comment and subscribe if you'd like to. And I will see you soon. Take care.